Hey everybody, not even gonna get on video tonight because my skin is so broken out from all this stress. Not even that broken out, I just got one big giant something going on pretty much in between my eyes. So I'm just gonna not do it. But anyways, hopefully that'll go away in the next few days. But anyways, this was kind of hell to get this fucking video going up. Lost battery and then banged around the room by the time calling me right in the middle of this damn thing. Anyways, I don't know if this is a new video or... God damn, man, people are annoying. One of my old neighbors just got to call me and let me know. Jesus, who even knows what? He's an idiot. Anyways, he'll probably end up seeing this. That's one of the problems I've been running into lately is I go online and I say all this crap about people, and then it always ends up getting back to me. But it's not really something that I'm willing to stop, because a lot of stuff that I end up saying is either A, to get something off my chest that I'm feeling at that moment, which may be superficial and you should just overlook it, or maybe it's just something that is serious to me, or maybe if it doesn't really apply to you, just don't even worry about it, you know? I mean, for all you know, I mean, look at the subject matter here. It's pretty extreme. I mean, it's extremely honest, and in some people's minds it's extreme, because I'm saying stuff like, well, the Federal Reserve is private, and 9/11 was an inside job, but not only that, Saudi Arabia didn't have anything to do with it, and that's another conspiracy. And people just have not gotten into their minds that the government doesn't love them, and that, you know, when I sit here and say it's a conspiracy, it doesn't mean that, you know, I'm some kind of Chicken Little person, or should even be considered some kind of Chicken Little person, because it's just that's all that, I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, I'm getting tired of repeating myself with this stupid talking point. Probably because I just had bad experiences with talking points from Alex Jones, who knows. But either way, you know, it's just, here's the deal. The only thing that's been normal, or at least the only thing that is, the only thing in human history that has been consistent actually is government's turning on people. I mean, that's it, you know? So to sit there and act like it's far-fetched when that's the only single thing that is consistent throughout recorded history that's left, because government spun so far out of control that they would just take up knowledge from people, you know what I mean? And people aren't even to the point where they're willing to say, well, the government would even turn on me, without just getting all worked up and calling you putting some kind of label on you, you know? And that's scary in and of itself, because it's a way of controlling speech. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just a really rudimentary way of controlling people's minds. Because if you can put it in any kind of context of knowing something is to be A, you know, scoffed at, B, you know, to be attacked, to you know, to have that as the casual response is attack, you know? And when that's you know, that's another form of obedience training, A. It's another form of obedience, B. And I hesitate to even just maybe say it's probably just is outright obedience. I don't know, you know, because just think about it. I mean, you're finding a way to point a finger at somebody who's pointing out something that's obviously the way it is, you know? I mean, when I point out the things about 9/11 being an inside job, I don't just sit there and say something like, well, you know, planes couldn't have brought down the towers. And I'm just saying, you know, look at Building 7 collapsing into its own footprint at free fall speed because a few pillars of the building have been damaged. It makes you laugh, you know? Because, I mean, you tell people this and they literally just start laughing. I've told kids this, you know, 18-year-old kid who didn't even know what Building 7 was, and I was telling him this stuff, and as soon as I said that, he just fell out laughing right in my face, because I said, the building was slightly damaged, maybe 20% of it, and it fell into its own footprint at free fall speed. And he just fell out laughing right in my face. Because what the hell did you just say? How did that happen? You know? Despite the fact that, you know, the BBC was saying, well, it's collapsed. And it hadn't even collapsed yet. And there was really no feasible way for it to even collapse. In one coherent motion, I mean, think about it. What if it had collapsed in pieces, you know? That would make more sense, wouldn't it? I mean, a part of it's damaged, so it just collapses into its own footprint at free fall speed. Then there was video evidence we found that there was the sound of an explosion before the building came into its own footprint. And that was released by architects and engineers, and they had this video. And to be perfectly honest with you, it was most likely remote controlled jets that flew into the towers. Okay? That's most likely what happened. And for anybody who's sitting there listening to all this right now and you're like, geez, this fucking channel sucks. I'm looking at somebody's ceiling, or what, you might be looking at that lamp right now, a lampshade, and you're like, what the hell is this? Listen, you just basically have to be a fan of mine to even get in here and care at all. And if you aren't, then that's fine, you know? I mean, it's like my dad's wife said the other day. She said, I don't think anybody's even coming in there and listening to you, you know? Besides people that care about you. And I was like, and I don't know, I think that was just a way of pissing me off, because I made another video just a few days ago where I said, you know, the only reason I'm only getting a small number of views is because I cannot video respond anymore. And the fact that they did this just as a way of screwing with me, you know? Because I was contacting people in the media, and I was saying, look, this aspect of video response isn't working properly, you know, and I should have just made a video about it, but I'm so sick and tired of it, you know what I mean? I have 50 videos where I've just documented the most stupidest shit, you know what I mean? Just unbelievable shit about, you know, okay, they took one letter out of this video title, so now you can't see what the header is, where the heading is, when it's something incredibly indicting. Like, this 17-year-old kid got taken up, and he was just living with his parents. I still have the video. I uploaded it, and on the mention of other people's video, I'm not going to do it anymore because I got a YouTube strike the other day. Lo and behold, as soon as I started uploading videos, they're going to crack down on me, try to find reasons to shut down my channel and get all this information out of people's faces before I start attracting more attention to myself and the channel. But, you know, it was basically what it was this kid he was 17 years old. They snatched him up out of his house. It was a news piece for the local news, and they're just sitting there going, why is my kid gone? I cannot talk to him. I can't hire him a lawyer. They said he's not even eligible for court. And I have no idea what is even going on with him. And seriously scary, you know? And so I uploaded this video, and I put the title on it, 17-year-old arrested without due process under the Patriot Act. And I had taken that title and manicured it to the point where you could see what the point was without having to open the video itself. You would just at a glance understand what it was. And I can't remember what it was, something like 17-year-old arrested without due process under the Patriot Act. I can't remember. But somehow they took it to where you couldn't even upload videos of that length. A character was going to have to go missing. And I showed it because I adjusted it again, and they did it again. So I had evidence of it, and then I showed that, and it's just shit like that, you know, and so I couldn't just bring myself to sit there and make another fucking video about this shit, man. I'm serious. And so the next day, they made it to where you can't video respond anymore, you know, the very next day. And they cited these statistics that to me were bogus, at least bogus for me, as to the reason why it's just ineffective or something. Anyways, so the whole point is just, you know, I think maybe me just talking about that was her little thing for why she was going to sit there and bring it up to just basically piss me off and insult me. And, you know, that's just typical because what I think of her is I think that she's part of an aristocracy that's working against me, you know. And my dad took up a couple of my guns, and I was like, listen, I'm just gonna replace them. I just got one on hold right now. I'm eligible to pick it up as soon as I get back in town. And she just like, her body language was just like she just like electricity had just shot through her body, and she just looked over at me with these big eyes just like shocked, like not a gun in his hands, you know. And I heard her in there, in my opinion, and you know, talking about killing me. You know, after my dad snatched up my gun and went in and locked the room shut behind him like a little, you know, like a little snake, you know, and then he was in there talking about killing me too, which is pretty fucked up in my opinion. Even just to snatch up somebody's gun and try to get all, you know, imperious on them, you know. And it pisses me off to the point of, you know, I just heard somebody in the room. They've got people planted all around me, you know. And I've got evidence of that on YouTube as well. I'm not even gonna go through it again. I've just gone through it too many fucking times in the last few videos. But you know, it's just oh, god damn. I mean, listen, do you hear that door slamming? They don't like me talking about them. We are at this point, and we're just at the point where the government and the whole people are just like, Tanner, shut the fuck up. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. And denial on top of it. You know, people come in here, tell me I'm nuts. People tell me none of that's going on. You know, they told me it wasn't going on. They told me that I didn't hear that. I didn't hear them talking about that. You know, muffled voices from behind a door coming in at about 20 or 30 decibels. Yeah, I didn't hear it. Brain just made all that up. Whatever. You know, it's just crazy. And then I have this guy talking on my behalf to get my guns back from my dad, and then sure enough, this aristocrat wife of his, whose father was the head central banker of Ecuador, and I probably shouldn't even be telling you this because I don't know if all these things are gonna piece together or not. I don't know if these things are all gonna piece together or not, but if it doesn't, then you're gonna have about 5 fucking videos to go through because I'm not gonna fuck with it. But anyways, it's like 5:20 right now. I picked a hell of a good time to even do this while everybody's slamming their fucking doors in this hotel, I guess is what it is. Anyways, so, not to mention that they'll screw with me on it for any fucking reason in the world. But yeah, you know, like I was saying, I was just basically saying this aristocrat wife of his, and you know, her father was the head central banker of Ecuador. That's when I got a phone call right now, and it is on Do Not Disturb, just so you know. This is the second phone in a row that will not just allow me not to not be disturbed. And actually it did say that I was allowing call from my favorites, but that was an 877 number, so pretty sure that wasn't my favorite. So anyways, I've got them all set to completely do not disturb now. But it's just shit like that, you know, that just pisses me off so much because I have the most fucked up shit happening. You know, they will absolutely do anything under the sun to aggravate me for any fucking reason. They watch me constantly and are mindful of every word that comes out of my mouth and are mindful of everything that I say. You know, everything that I do and everything that I say, they're completely and totally mindful of. And I know the reason why is because they're constantly calculating something we can do, something. And that's why I always use the term frantic endeavoring, because it's really what it is. It's just endeavoring, you know, going out of your way to go and do something, but not just like to do it, but you do it frantically, you know. So it's like to do it wasn't enough. You had to be all crazed about it and out of your fucking mind when there was nothing to accomplish, you know. And it's just totally stupid ass mindless bullshit that never can fucking end. I wish you'd just take a gun out and fucking be a fucking man and have some balls and just fucking shoot my fucking ass instead of putting me through all this bullshit. You know, because at the end of the day, this isn't a life worth living to me. I would rather just be dead. And you would rather have me out of the picture, so just get it the fuck over with. But you're not gonna, because that's who you are, and what you are is just a worm and a pest. So that's where I get so fucking frustrated with these fucking ass pieces of shit. Idiot motherfuckers. And so, you know, the point of the story is that it's just the bullshit can never end, and you know, like I said, she doesn't want me having a gun. You know, and like I said, I kind of break this guy's confidence to bring it up, and I don't think he said it to belittle her, but I think that he just, oh God, you know, I think he just wanted me to know as a friend that, you know, that there's other people who are interested in me not having guns, and it's not just my dad. So then I won't give him a hard time about it, because he's more in their corner than he is in mine, and that's the way it should be, because he works for him. So if anybody happens to hear this, I'm speaking up for him, and I don't want him to fucking hear any bullshit about it, because it's already enough bullshit as it is, and the internet can find out every fucking detail. You know, I'm not going to stop telling people what's going on. As much as just asking me to stop is enough to make me do it even more. And it's probably the reason why I'm even doing this right now, you know. The wise move would be don't even talk about it at all, because I'm trying to get myself onto another subject, as it's just obvious. You look at my YouTube channel, you can see the last couple of videos I've done is me shifting radically away from my own life into alternate subject matters, because I don't like this. I don't think this is productive. I don't think it's constructive. I don't think that this is a good thing, you know what I mean, for other people to just constantly hear about my life, you know. I don't think it's going to change the world or anything, you know. And it's kind of the point of this channel is for me to be saying something constructive about the world, and instead of doing that, I'm talking about all the bullshit I'm getting for basically saying nothing, you know. And it just gets on my fucking nerves, and you know, you just look at oh God, you know. Oh, it's just fucking annoying, you know. And so basically what was said was that I don't need to have a gun because all this stuff really isn't going on. You see what I mean? So that's what he was getting from them. And not even really, I don't know. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, but that's basically what was being said. And so, you know, they basically have, you know, but at the same time, she's going to my YouTube channel and finding fault with what I'm saying. And then my dad brought it up to me, and I said, okay, we'll get her in here and let's talk about it. Because I don't think you want to talk about it, to be perfectly honest. And I don't think that you want to bring it up at all. I think that you want to be quiet and not say anything about this to him and have him talking to me about it. I don't think you want to do that. So we tested that, and in fact, that theory was correct. All she wanted to know after we brought this up was, why did we bring it up? You know? She asked everybody in the room, why did we even bring this up? You know? And here's the reason why, because Tanner, you know what you heard us in there saying. And why did you want to even, why torture us with this, you know? And the answer is, you wanted this problem. Like, apparently, no, what you wanted to do was try to find some way to control me. And you're too dumb to understand that it's not that easy just to say, you know, hey, Tanner, we don't like what you're saying, because, you know, because you're telling people what we said whenever we don't want them to know. Well, see, that just doesn't work out too good. And whenever I hear people talking about killing me and stuff, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, the average person that comes in here and hears this thinks I'm full of shit. Okay? They think I'm a sensationalist, and they think I'm full of shit. The reason it bothers you is because you have a guilty conscience, and you know it's true. You know you did that, and you know that's what was said. Okay? That's why. And there's no alternate reason. Okay? Furthermore, it's just, it's just not a good idea to even bring it up for you, because you said that, you did that. Now, honestly, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that ever since I've been bringing this up, you've gone from basically doing everything in your power to like ruin my life, to now you're trying to help me again, because you know that you just pulled the rug out from underneath me and like locked me up, had me locked up, and then as soon as I got out, even tried to take my truck away, until I just told my dad I was going to blow his fucking head off, which really, you know, I want to say I regret it, you know what I mean, because it's just wrong, you know. I was so upset. You had done so much to me, you know, and to be honest, on another note, the fact that I got raided while I was in there when nobody knew what I was doing, besides my dad, and probably his wife. She's the one who probably did it. Because I went on the internet the day before and said, hey, I'm going to go on the radio and expose something really crazy. Okay? The fact that Christianity is not... It's just a totally a hypocritical statement to say that Christianity is a reason for drug prohibition. It's totally crazy. Okay, it's beyond hypocritical. It's to the point of being stupid. And, you know, it's just, I've already had that on the internet, but I know you're going to be a coward about it. In fact, I almost didn't even say it. And it was pretty far into the video when I did, and the reason why is because I knew there was going to be hell to pay. You know? I knew there was going to be hell to pay. And now we've got these enemies in my family controlling my dad like the Red Woman from Game of Thrones. You know, and it's just totally nuts. Okay? And, I mean, what else could you expect from me? I mean, look, I got people like the Acacia Strain after me making songs like We're Wolves in Sheep's Clothing, We Know Everything About You, The Hills Have Eyes, blah, blah, blah. Probably going to get yourself killed behind all that, you stupid-ass idiot. And just constantly, just stupidity just rolling out against me, you know? And like I said, oh yeah, by the way, on the fact that all that shit they raided and got like 6 plants out of my house and all this growing equipment, I never got charged for that. So I don't even know what the hell happened there. It seems really weird they left a 3-foot tall plant sitting in the fucking living room. Their little rubber gloves just all over the fucking house. They just ripped them off and threw them everywhere. And then they didn't even charge me. Alright, so I don't know what exactly is going on. To me it sounds like intimidation tactics or just more intimidation tactics, you know? And the fact that it took my dad so fucking long to call the cops on me over a video where I stuck a gun in my mouth, you know, and it's just some way for them to pull the bullshit on me, you know? And if his wife is watching my videos, well, she's probably the one who wanted it done. You know, she's probably the one that brought it to his attention, had all this shit orchestrated against me in this exact time frame. And, you know, look, man, I mean, seriously, if this wasn't true, then when I sat around you, you wouldn't just have a look of pure hate in your eyes. It would be more like you're delighted because this just sounds so funny. You know? And that it's just such a sensational bunch of material that you would just be impressed by my imagination. And it would be like, wow, you know, and you would bring it up to me, but you wouldn't be all upset, or you wouldn't have Dad do it, you would just do it yourself, and you would just have kind of like a smile on your face and just want to know more about it because you just made you curious, you know? Or, you know, or you would confront me yourself, you know, and it wouldn't be this thing where whenever I bring it up, or whenever you bring it up, I say, well, get everybody in here, let's talk about it, and then you ask everybody, why did you even bring this up? It wouldn't be your reaction. And so, look, you know, if you don't want to believe this, you don't have to believe this. I'm not trying to get my family killed or brought into anything nuts or anything like that. You know, it's just... to me, it just seems completely innocuous. You know, I'm making a YouTube video. People are going to hear about this. People are going to form their own opinion. At the end of the day, they don't have to believe me. They don't have to disbelieve me. They don't have to form an opinion. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just... YouTube videos are just... There's so fucking many of them. I mean, look, there's probably a billion YouTube videos. I mean, from people talking about their lives to people making stuff up. I mean, none of this stuff gets taken seriously. I mean, have you even seen the memes about this? There's a million memes about people making stuff up on YouTube. It's a joke. It's actually a joke. It's actually a running joke of how much crap is on YouTube that is just totally not true. And they just make up the most radical. They'll take a video shot of a YouTube video, an actual YouTube video, and they'll modify the headline till it's just totally insane, to the point where you couldn't even say that, you know? And that's a joke, and that's a funny joke that goes to these sites where people post funny things, and it's one of the most popular jokes that there is. And you don't have to feel threatened by what I'm saying unless you have a guilty conscience. And then really your mind is just going to plague you with fear because you did that, and you really are trying to do that. And this is what I think is going on, and I don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm 33 years old almost, and I've got to worry about my dad snatching my gun and running away like a little snake or weasel or whatever, and treating me like I'm 9 years old. I don't appreciate it. And I don't think it's our relationship. The nature of our relationship isn't supposed to be something where you sit there and try to contrive up different ways to get imperious on me and control my life. And to be honest with you, the only thing that I can do to keep me sane is just to go on the internet and talk about it, because it just makes me feel more comfortable that somebody with a rational mind is looking at this and just like having sympathy for the fact that I even have to put up with this kind of crap. And if you can't relate to that, yeah, probably because your parents never snatched your guns up and ran away like little weasels. Stop it. It's ridiculous. I can still buy guns. It's not going to stop me from buying more guns. So thank God I can still buy guns. I don't know why the cops did that and never charged me. And another thing, she said, well, he thinks people are after him on YouTube. None of that's going on. I just posted a video just the other day, and I know she saw it, where somebody broke out my window, and didn't even bother to take anything out of the car. And this head production manager that my dad has worked for him, he's just kind of like working with me just because my dad just doesn't want to do all this, doesn't want to work with me directly, he just wants to have somebody else do it. And so he's telling me about how all these people are calling him, and they're all worked up and they're all upset, and it's just like, man, can y'all not find something else to think about? Do you have anything else in the world to do besides get upset about me? Do you have anything in the world? My aunt's calling him, my mom's calling him. He's like, I can't tell you how many text messages I've answered. I can't tell you how many calls. It's like, holy shit, man. Get a life. Get a fucking life. Does it feel that good? Let me give you the fucking answer right now. Yes. It feels good to feel like you're in control of somebody else's life, and to feel like you're running somebody's life. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm more disappointed with the people in my life, or if I'm more disappointed in the cops for letting all this bullshit happen to me behind really nothing. And the fact that the cops had the fucking audacity to take me to a psych ward, a psych hospital, because A, I stuck a gun in my mouth on YouTube, and B, I was talking about people being after me. It's just totally absurd, man. After everything that I've had to put up with, I get put in a nut farm for simply remarking upon it. That I feel like I'm in North Korea in a lot of ways. It's like I couldn't even just tell you the fact with all these fucking guns pointed at me and be like, whoa, look at all those guns, and be like, okay, time to take him away. Men in white suits coming for you. Is that reassuring to you, America? Shouldn't be, you fucking bastards. Get upset about this fucking shit. This is upsetting to me, man. Seriously, look at what the fuck I've been put through right here. Jesus, political persecution out the ass, for one, probably. Who knows? I just outlined to you every single thing I think is going on and all the bullshit of it. I'm just about done with this video, I think. But, god damn. What the hell else could there fucking be? Let me tell you, a lot. A lot. And I've gotten to the point where I'm just so awash in my emotions that, I just don't even care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he probably is. Let me listen to some Filth or something about suicide. The band Filth. Let me listen to these fucking motherfuckers again. And sometimes I'll listen to their music. I've listened to it so many fucking times. It's like the only thing that kind of grounds me for a second and brings me back to where I'm at emotionally. Which is to the point of just, probably, yeah, it really is blowing my brains out. Because of all this bullshit. And if it's not that, then it's just, yeah, it is. It's to the point of blowing my brains out. And it's sad to say that sometimes, even, like, especially after all this, being put in the psych ward and have cops come after me and all the bullshit of having my entire, adulthood kind of ripped away from me, or literally just ripped away from me, I've actually got to the point where I actually really do want to put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. And it's just to the point where I sometimes just, Jesus Christ. You just have no idea. I mean, you could put me in a psych ward at this point and say I'm suicidal, and I will be like, yeah, pretty much. And, it's just, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It would be one thing if I took out a gun drunk and stuck it to my head in front of my wife or something, because then I'm imposing on another person. And rather than put somebody in jail, I think they would be happy just to be put in a psych ward. Or maybe that's the appropriate thing to do, I don't know. But I wasn't imposing on another person. I was sticking my shit on the internet. You weren't in the fucking room. It's totally third-party shit. And if YouTube wants to censor that, then YouTube can censor that. But that's totally different than, putting me in a psych ward, Because it's not what I did, it's what I've imposed upon another person. That's when crime occurs. Okay, and that's something that society is far from finding out. Far from understanding. Let me tell you how fucking far society is from understanding this. We have more people locked up than any country in the world. Because society can't understand that. Okay? Society cannot understand that, okay, when you do something to yourself, that ain't a crime. Society has yet to find that out. Society has yet to understand that simple fucking concept. That simple concept. So am I surprised? No, not really. I mean, it's upsetting because that's kind of one of the very few things that we have left in this country is just the ability to just kind of say what you want to say without, or do what you want to do to yourself, outside of drugs, obviously, and not end up in some kind of, arrest. You know what I mean? But society is far from understanding that, and we have more people locked up, like I said, than any country in the world because of lack of that understanding in an extreme way. And that type of persecution is just going to be rampant. And I'll tell you what I'm probably going to do is just move my fucking ass to Denver so I don't have to worry about you bastards coming into my fucking house and snatching up my shit and just getting away with